Good morning. Oh, it's morning anyway, and I'm making this recording. 365, shake my hand. Guys, once again, when you start to watch this type of content, I don't know when it will be. All right, I am already technically uploading episode 1. All right, so we'll see how that one does. Let me know if this is helping you, right? I don't want to spend too much time punching out stuff that might not be helpful. Dollar is breaking out, right? So remember, I'm just recording my day-to-day process, showing people that you can 5x, 10x your account. You just have to be a little bit, methodological with your approach, right? But this is our dollar index. I'm going to go to the 5 minutes chart like I did yesterday. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to be recording this, throughout during the day. We'll see if I can catch any trades. I generally would have preferred to be in the markets already by now, at least for intraday trades, but I haven't been, right? I unfortunately have not been. Episode 1, as we speak, is loading, right? So by some time today on the 3rd, it's going to be out on YouTube. And once again, let me know by liking the video, let me know by commenting, let me know by sharing. And that feedback is important because remember, I'm just a trader. And then in 2018, I became more than just a trader. I started to teach people how to do it. So that added a new dimension and a layer. And it's a massive pivot. If you want to do things properly, you have to up yourself, you have to upskill yourself. So teaching people became a new thing for me. Luckily enough, I was blessed with a lot of lecturing experience at Rose University. But this new thing I'm adding, which is recording myself all the time outside of my trading plan, etc., is a little bit, because I have to put the videos together, edit at night, blah, blah, blah. So I just want to know if it's worth it. I don't mind doing it, but just let me know if it's worth it. So please do like and show some love there on the channel. Right, this is the dollar index from yesterday. So I told you I'll be doing these little dotted vertical lines, right? Just to make sure you understand what happened in the day. And I like doing stuff like this. And then what I'll start doing is I'll keep track of trading sessions. This is 9 a.m. yesterday, London session, right? It's really more 5 to 9, this candle, then 9 a.m. right there, and then kind of like set the tone for this little drop, right? Drop that we experienced for a while. And then eventually, markets, made their way slowly but surely to this area of value that I already marked in this episode. So when you watch this stuff, you'll notice that the things that I'm predicting are also happening, right? So in episode 1, which was the 2nd of August, we already spoke about this tight area, right? Or on the bigger time frames, the dollar has left a daily demand, but Leroy has been insisting on a bearish undertone. I'm very bearish about the dollar right now. This is a 5 minutes chart for the whole day yesterday. So price left here, 9 a.m. London session, and then made its way, back up. So let's find what time the New York session started. Around about 2 p.m. We started to see some dollars trading. And you'll see in entire episode 1, I was inside NZD USD trade. So this is New York's London session drop, New York session massive recovery back into the area of value of the London session, which leads us into a drop into the Asian session last night, right? Last night, midnight, early hours of the morning, etc. And then we start a new day today, the 3rd. So I've already drawn a vertical mark. I'm sure there are indicators that can do this for you on your charts. I like doing everything manually. I like being in control, right? So this is 9 a.m. So this is now the start of the London session. And what do we have? We are starting to see some type of break in market structure on my 5 minutes time frame. Remember, if the dollar weakens, those other currencies are going to be strong. NZD, USD, Well, this could be a fake out, right? I'm not yet throwing a party, right? I'm not yet happy, right? This is not yet a good time to call it, right? So we've got this market structure here, and then we've got this market structure here, and then right now we've got this market structure, right? So one would make the argument that we are in a downward channel since midnight on the dollar, right? Asian session. One would make the argument that the London session on the 3rd of August started hot, right? With the drop, and now we just want to see some structure being removed. It's been removed here, it's been removed there, it's going to be removed. So now what I want to see is supply. Now, I would not be angry if markets came back here and then dropped, right? That's number 1. Unfortunately, the broker where I'll be filming most of this stuff in the episodes that I'll be doing, if you guys like this type of content, is a currency-based broker. So I will be making the index trade on a different broker on one of my other personal accounts, which is fine. But I like using the dollar more as an indicator of what's going to go on today. I think what's also important is just to bring out the trade view hitting map. And the reason for that is in this morning, because I'm not yet in the market, it's already 10 a.m. and that's okay. Right? I don't like trading at the opening, right? There's a lot of nonsense going on there. You know, if you like it, you like it. I personally don't. I like to see how markets faring, but by 11, 12 p.m., I should get a good sense, right? Sometimes I'm already in the trade because I got in during the Asian session because I have a baby and I'm up at night. But you can see dollar is just faring weak across the board, right? So it's weaker against NZD, it's stronger than the CAD, weaker than against the other, you know, safe havens, Swiss franc, JPY, and I'm not so sure why there's a blank here, but you can see euro is stronger than the dollar, right? So that's what we're looking at right now. And NZD currently is stronger than the dollar right now, and I'm bringing that up because, you know, in episode 1, I was focused on NZD USD, and I was making a bigger point. Like, if you just do this, if you had $100 US and you just focused on compounding and growth, and it just being clean and methodological, could you grow your account? What would 30 good trades do for you? What about 20 good trades? What about 60 good trades? Not overnight, right? Or in a methodological period, could you actually see sustainable growth? Right, so there it is. There's our dollar index, you know, flying high. This would be nice, right? If it doesn't, this would be nice as well. But we shall see. But it does come here, and then we are bound to see some continued dollar weakness throughout the day, at least throughout this particular session up until, you know, markets. I will be doing a third YouTube video for you guys outside of this series. The series is going to be called how to 10x your account. All right, so that's what I decided to call it. But outside this, we need to do a lot of fundamental catch up. It's a big week. Remember, I spoke about it's a very big week. We've got NFP, we've got ADP tomorrow, Wednesday the 4th, NFP on Friday, and a lot of other big, you know, high profile new stuff that are going to move the market. So this is what I have here on my dollar, right? So just to keep the theme clean, once you have a good thing going, like NZD USD was a good thing for me yesterday, and when you watch the video, you'll see why. I came here this morning and I was like, you know what else moves like NZD USD? I'm looking for correlation, right? So if I'm wrong on NZD USD, this is the downside. When you're wrong on something and you take different trades on what it correlates with, so NZD USD has a 95% correlation with Euro USD, has got a 94% correlation with NZD JPY, and a 93. I'm going to just take the first two. The higher the correlation, the better. So I normally, when I teach people correlations, you know, within our remote course, that video I referred everyone to during the war room. Market correlations, just check that out inside our remote course. You have access to it. I tell you that I like 95%, right? So these are all fine, right? There's a USD CAD option down there, but I want to take the highest correlation. If I wanted to hedge, I'd also take negative, the top negative correlations, right? So if I'm buying here, I'm looking for sell opportunities in USD, you see Swedish krona, etc., etc., etc. So I saw that Euro USD and NZD JPY have this. So I have to do a duplicate analysis, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just preparing myself for the day. I'm just telling myself, well, what do I see, you know, exactly? And I don't think I like the Euro USD setup. I felt like it wasn't as clean and as clear as I wanted it to be. But I see markets have rallied. Right, so this was yesterday on Euro USD. You can see there I've got the market divider, you know, just to show you the day. So yesterday, Euro USD started off very strong upward trend, and then eventually broke out, right? And then slowly is trying to make its way back up to here. And we were not so sure how that's going to play out. But the reason why I want Euro USD is because on my FX, which is a nice free place, and if I remember, I'll try and put this link down below on the description, on the YouTube description. Let me just do that now with you so that you know. So my FX, so it'll be on episode 1 and episode 2. You should see the my FX book link, or it makes sense in episode 2 actually, because I didn't use it here in episode 1. So I'll do my best to remember to put it in for you. Right, but anyways, it's just a nice place. So you just click on NZD USD and this will come out. Top absolute correlation, positive correlation, which really should be the same thing most of the time, and then top negative. So what, there's a 93% chance that these two don't move the same way, right? So I've got Euro USD there, which is what we're dealing with right now, that 5 minutes chart, and you can see markets broke out of this upward trend line with the supply, held it down for a while. It's a PCP. Great, show you, make it clear, right? So you know it's only good for one touch, or it's kind of like an engulfing really. And then markets kind of like slide it back up, and they're back up here, which is where we are today, this morning, right? And they could still be a long-term, push, right? So if I go to the 15 minutes time frame, and I'm starting to move with a factor of 3, 5 minutes, 3 times bigger than that is 15 minutes. I'm starting to see why markets would not hold here at that 5 minute supply. It might have been a bearish engulfing candle, but remember, if you're going to be a seller, you want to sell high. So that's what we're after, a better, stronger order block to create the wave, right? And this order block, watch this bearish engulfing candle broke market structure. Very important, right? See there, broke that, broke through. So when price comes back to it, we want to sell. So yeah, the sell could be, for a while. I couldn't find a clean demand because of this weird big green candle that was clearly a massive dip down and then was bought back up. Most brokers have it printed that way. And so it was just difficult for me to take the sell, because sell for how long, right? Is there demand here? If any of these other green zones that I've highlighted are demands on the smaller time frames, there's not much movement, right? You're looking at 63 pips, 43 pips, 13 pips, 11 pips, something, see there, 16 pips. And it's money, sure, but for me, it's just not going to work. And so long story short, in my trading plan, I ended up going with a different type. I ended up going with NZD JPY for the better correlative pair. What I liked about NZD JPY is it's absolutely identical to NZD USD, which makes sense. JPY, USD, both safe havens, right? I really like that. So if you see how this chart looks here on the 15 minutes time frame, let's just drop to 5 minutes, because I've got the 5 minutes chart open on my live account. The same one we've been working on since episode 1, right? I might take trades day to day. And I won't always use NZD USD, but for someone who is trying to master, right, the basics, let me just, no problem. I'm feel freely. 10 minutes, go fair. Fantastic, right? Sorry about that, right? So I was saying, if we're going to look at correlative pairs, right, and really my take here would be this, NZD, USD, JPY playoff, because they're moving quite the same. This is what it looked like yesterday. And yesterday, you'll notice, market started a little bit up. And then we spent most of the time selling, right? But on NZD, USD, right? And JPY did something similar, and now they've broken up to the upside, right? Broken up to the upside. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how long is this particular structure sustainable? How long is this breakout going to be? This is a big breakout. On the 50 minutes time frame, we can see that there is definitely, a good case to be made, right, for a break of market structure going up. And so for me, I never joined that way, right? So what I want to see is something like this. That's number one. But really what I want is this. So I want to buy in this green zone. And the reason for that is when I start to move up with better, suited time frames, like the 1 hour time frame, then I can start to actually figure out which is the demand, right? So I know my dividers in the way. Let's do this now. Which of these demands is a stronger one? And I like this 1 hour one, right? I like this pattern here. I like the fact that it was the driving force that broke out, right? One could make the argument that it was here, right? But this is not really a clean bullish engulfing pattern, and therefore I'm not too excited about it. But I am excited about the strength of this area of value to start to break this. So this would have been a, right? And then here we are here, which means this is the structure that's been removed right there. Oh, kind of, right? So I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for for the court, you know, to be in session and to kind of like close. I want a candlestick to break on the upside, other side of this, right? And then we can talk. And then if it comes back down, I'm going to buy, right? On these interesting time frames. Yeah. So I'm looking for something along those lines, you know, trying to choose my demands carefully. And so I think for now, I'm going to leave it at this, and then I'll come back to you guys if there's anything, right? So this is NZD USD, you know, this is where we were yesterday. You know, we bought long, right? Long here, which was very good, exited, and then we started to sell quite a bit all the way down there. You can see there's the arrow. I hope you can see it clearly. Right, and then we exited there because I was quite worried about the sustainability of this area of value and if it was going to hold. And luckily enough, when I exited all those sales, we actually we locked profits, and then I got kicked out. Right, markets then rallied like crazy. And if you remember last week Friday, the last day of July in trading, I spoke to you guys. I sent you guys in the public Telegram group a chart for a strong case to be in long. So as an intraday trader, I had fun selling NZD USD, but as a swing trader, my bias to hold this long hasn't changed. Remember I say there's an H1 demand here. All of you have this chart, by the way. I sent it on the public Telegram group, and I explained to you that, you know, sometime this month in August, where is it? I think it's in the notes somewhere on the chart. I have the notes somewhere on the chart. Have I deleted them? But no, there we go. I said RBZ is likely to raise interest rates this month. So I am making a case for a bullish NZD on the way. And it would be nice for a swing trader for us to get in here. And that 1 hour demand is what's really pushing price up right now, right? So we did sell on the smaller time frames, because you have to understand, when you go to smaller time frames, you must know which trend you're following and for how long, right? So they broke out of the structure on the 1 hour time, and that bullish pattern is continuing. So even getting a buy here for another swing entry would be perfect, right? And if our smaller time frames play ball and markets come all the way there, I'll then get a nice clean swing buy, right? But until then, I'll be watching this, right? So I think for now, if there's anything that I catch today on day 2 of this journey, I'll definitely record it, and then I'll explain why. All right, and then, but I will start to shop around for other pairs, right? I will start to shop around for other pairs, right, guys? 365, shake my hand, and see you in the next video. Cheers. Once again, 3rd of August, and I guess you heard me say that in the first part, but I mean, I'm filming these at different stages of the day, just so that we can get a holistic look, right, guys? Not much has happened since my last video. In fact, I'm not having the best trading day today, and it's not to do with actual trades or losses or whatever. It's just been very difficult to focus. Every time I sit down, my office door is open and there's something else I need to take care of, right? So it's been, I have not placed any intraday trades, etc. We covered this on Sunday during the war room. I'm just looking at it now. Bitcoin. And I said on Sunday, watch out for this area here, right? That I don't trust that this thing is going to break to the upside. Literally on Sunday on our war room. Episode 1 is still loading. African internet speed. Right, it's 25 past 12 p.m. So episode 1 should be up by the time I'm done filming episode 2. But anyways, so Bitcoin has dropped, right? And this is really my bias for this asset is to go to the downside. I mean, I've said this many times. I've said this was pretty, there could be a potential buy here at between 32,000 and 30,000, right? You know, markets love holding, you know, this whole number. So 30,000 US dollars, if markets break below 30,000 US dollars, there's going to be a big hoo-ha articles, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin melting, blah, 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 etc. Support is there, 30,000 US dollars, etc. But yeah, this on Sunday, I did point this out in one of our war rooms that I did think this was coming. So I'm glad I'm not in a buy. This could work. For short-term trades, this could work. I'm not interested still, and I'm not interested because I'm not yet convinced, right? So I mean, I covered that in the war room, but I do think our next area is 20K. right? I do think this is, I mean, I've just read this article here, you know, Binance CEO is stepping down. Binance is like the biggest crypto exchange, right? But it's not like stepping down because he's been fired or scandals, right? He's just like, he's looking, I mean, they're growing, so they're looking for the next level. So he's willing to step down as his current role as CEO, all right? If the exchange is ever going to get that regulation, right? That financial regulation, so the institutions can snoop in, et cetera, et cetera. But we shall see, we shall see. I don't think this shook up the market that much. But in any case, that's what's happening here. So I will be watching this carefully. For me, like I said, the demand here is weak, if there is even a demand at all. So I want to see a play for 20K. If we get a play for 20K, I will buy for a trade, all right? And I'm pretty sure there'll be a supply here that will push us all the way back down there. And then if we ever get to 12,000 US dollars, which is where I really want to buy, then I'll start to buy new coins, new Bitcoin, right? So now I'm just buying to trade, selling to trade, but to actually own the asset, I'd like to get massive discounts down there, right? So this is coming up slowly but surely. But onto the trades that we have today and what I've been doing. So I've been looking carefully at USD Swiss franc. I'm starting to plot my play for the week. Remember, this is a very big week. NFP on Friday. NFP on Friday means, you know, markets will move and dance. If you go to the daily time frame, I'm pretty sure this was part of episode 1. I just don't remember if it is. If I showed you guys this, or maybe I haven't yet. So let me just show you guys now, right? So in episode 1, I did send this in one of our public Telegram groups when a student asked for questions, right? A long time ago. His name is Sia. Actually, if you go to the public Telegram group, Sia asked about a play on this chart, and I told him maybe 3 weeks ago, this is your current problem, number 1, that markets were going to do this. Number 2, we didn't get a full retracement. If price wants to do a system from my experiences and it does so, blah, blah, blah. So markets will retrace. A white line, daily, so all of that. This is what we're doing at 365. The uncanny ability to accurately predict market direction is what I'm here to offer, right? So I'm very happy that these notes are still on this particular chart, because what I wanted to show you, clearly I didn't do it on this chart, right? Maybe I did it on this chart. It's quite interesting that my notes are still there. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. It's still the same thing. USD Swiss franc. It's just nice that, you know, 3 weeks ago we predicted this long-term downside. Once again, remember, for the last 3 weeks, pretty much most of July and the first week of August, we are still, or I am still dollar bearish, right? So check this out now. On the daily time frame, we've got a quasi model, right? A basic quasi model setup. You've got. I'll redraw it, but I'm hoping you can see it. But this is what we have. We've got this, right? You've got the first shoulder, got the head, right shoulder, right? And then a breakout to the downside. Simple, clean, right? And again, it matches everything that we've been talking about of dollar bears and et cetera, et cetera. You know, Swiss franc will rally like crazy. You know, it will take advantage of dollar weakness. So you've got some strong dollar weakness that's been exuding here. And the next time there's a potential buy trade, it's right here by the 1 hour time frame, which actually this 1 hour area of supply is actually by the neckline, right? This is literally sitting at the neckline of the quasi of the head and shoulders pattern I just drew for you, right? So it's a perfect, you know, breakout, trade that needs to be retested, right? So maybe there could be a strong enough buy at this FOMC level. So one of the first charts, apart from USD JPY, that I've noticed has finally returned to that FOMC level. If that's the case, then we're going to see some type of push up, and I'm hoping the push up takes us all the way to this 1 hour supply there, where I would like to get some anchored sales done, right? I would like to sell a bit. I'm not yet sure if I want to commit to a buy up, but essentially if I want to sell this, I think it will be a choppy buy. And also there's a lot of selling pressure here. This is like really bloody red, like really bloody red. And let's see if I can see some type of accumulation on the smaller time frames. On the 1 hour, not that much. H4, not that much, sorry. Okay, 1 hour slightly better, right? You want to actually see them accumulate positions as they come to you. You really, it's actually a big deal, so that you actually understand, you know what's going on. So you see that there, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Then markets broke down, right? So there might be a short-term buy there. I'm not yet sure if I will be taking that buy, but I did pick that up today. So today for me might be just a watching day. Day 2 of this journey might just be a watching day, only because in about 30 minutes, I'm going to have to get up again. It's one of the annoying things that you're going to have to navigate in your trading career, right? Because I have asked not to be disturbed, and today I've been disturbed quite a bit in this house. But anyways, it's all good. Now let's go to one of my live accounts at least, right? So NZD USD, nothing really much has happened. This is the kind of like chart that we're looking at in the morning during the New York session, right? So I'm watching this carefully. I have added a couple of buys here. Let's just go to trade view so that we can so you can explain why. Remember, I'm simply looking for a couple of $100 here, a couple of $100 there, and I'm hoping to do a consistent base profit process, right? About 30 to 40 trades and see where that takes the account. NZD, USD, low risk entries, high probability rewards. Right, so if you check that 1 hour buy that I told you guys about last week, Friday is still holding. So for the swing accounts, that's doing great. And then I said, I'd love for price to come down. Remember I said this in this morning's video, and I marked this area here, and look, there we go. Markets have come down and hit literally today. All of this happened today, right? And it's unfortunate. I'm not a big believer of my own plan, right? I didn't like it, didn't meet one of my rules. I like a clean imbalance. So I didn't take the trade, but I knew markets were going to do that. Number one. Number two, the other thing that I'm waiting for is a clean break of market structure. Like I said, previously, that I need this, and then we can talk, some real action, right? So while I'm waiting for that to happen and markets make their money and print their money, I then decided to look at significant time frames, so like H4 day, and you can see that I'm just above my 1 hour strong demand that I advocated for, right? This is looking like a continuation pattern. There is this area here, which I did draw, I'm pretty sure, in the morning as well for you, right on the H4 time frame. And this is really where I would like. So I'd like this bullish engulfment to really do the magic trick and break this market structure, because that would be great. Because we can get that done, then I'm definitely a believer of this area of value buy. Once again, I'm bullish on NZD for a very long time, at least up until the Reserve Bank governor of New Zealand, QE, disappoints me and changes my mind, or at least my mind. Right, my current speculation is they will increase interest rates this August, right? So if they don't, leave things neutral, then I have to change my plan, right? So this H4 area is quite significant. My swing trade buy on the other accounts are doing very well in this H1 demand, but I want to get into this account that we're using for this particular series, right? And then watch, the buy is ready up. So I want to break out, retest, and then I'm going to buy in here. Then what I've done now on the live account is I've drilled it all the way down to the 15 minutes. See, this is the buy on H4, right? This is where we should be in right now, that buy that we marked up, but it's happened without us, right? And somewhere, let's see. I think I'm starting to confuse myself. Yeah, it's here. So I definitely am hoping to take my buys here. That's what I'm hoping to do. Take some buys somewhere here on this area on the 15 minutes time frame, but I'll be watching out for that. So that's pretty much all I've done, guys. If there's anything else, I will update you. But there you go on the live account. That's that 15 minutes order block there. That is that confluence with the H4 area of value. If I just make this big, right? So this area down here, H4. And then what I've done is I've got an order there right at the top, significant and a very tight stop loss just underneath that 15 minutes area of value for about $23 US, right? So it's quite a big order block right here. And then at about $23, and then I've got another buy order. So the first one is 0.45, and the second one you can see there is 0.25. So 0.45, the stop loss is right there, and 0.25. I've put the stop loss all the way outside the H4 order block, right? Putting me at a risking about $51 US. So I've got a big lot, small area, risking 23, and then here 51. So altogether about $83. And then I'm going to be trading my stop. So my first exit will give me about $100 US for the explosive move up, and then there should be a second take profit. I just don't remember where I put it, which will just similarly outside the channel somewhere, right? There we go, all the way up there, which would give me about, come on, about $361 US. So if those two buy trades work out, perfect. USD Swiss franc, the sell that I was telling you on the 1 hour time frame, okay. on the 1 hour time frame, right? The stop loss is somewhere here. Right now, this is tricky. It's quite an expensive area of value because of how big it is, right? So you have to think about it. The Quasimodo thing that I just showed you guys, right? The head and shoulders. So 38 pips wide. So I've got this as my first entry at 0.20. So because, and this is why. Look at how it looks on H4, right? So if markets come and kiss this area here like that, right? Instead of diving deep, I'll be left out, right? I've got a bigger lot size there, 0.53 of that 1 hour order block. But what if markets stop at the H4 and just drop? I don't want to miss out on that. So because I have to enter quite close here, I have to reduce the lot size because there are more pips. I'm risking a whole lot of exposure, right? Up until there. So that's about 43, pips. So I cut, this lot size almost in half, stop loss there. So one area of value will cost me about 130 something US dollars, right? And the second one is going to cost me about 95 bucks, right? So that's almost 200 US dollars or at least, right, at risk on this particular sell, on this USD Swiss franc sell, which again, markets are shaping up for, depending on what the perspective is on NFP. If both sales trigger, the first sale, right, will give me about the 0.20 will give me about 262 US dollars back, right? And the other one will give me about 861. So I'm risking about, what is it, like 200 bucks to make about 1,100 US dollars, which is well worth it as far as I can tell. And like I said, I'm still to decide if I'm going to buy a little bit here. Remember, I did say that this markets are shaping up quite close to arriving at what seems to be a demand, but dollar demands right now are very tricky because again, my thesis is this dollar weakness, but if it does work out, it'll finally push price to where I want it to be to buy, to sell, sorry. So I can let it rally without any buying, or I can be part of the buy, it'll be a choppy buy and then sell up there. But if I do buy here, it'll be a very small lot size. I've tried to break down this area of value as tight as possible, right? So this is about, 20 pips. So I could have, a sizable lot size and just risk about that much, and then a very smaller lot size and risk, have an area of value. I'm just going to go with that approach. Actually, I'm just going to have one lot size here, 0.20, nothing big. Once again, guys, just a kind reminder, my account can handle these things, right? So and then I'm still going less than 1%, less than 1%. The losses are literally all less than 1% of this account, right? So that's important for me. It's important that I protect capital, so if I get pinged, I'm losing 20, but if I'm right, I'm making 800, 900, 200, 861, so something to really consider about how you order block. And it's not something that people with big accounts can do. With 100 US dollars, you choose your areas of values as tightly as possible, right? So that means I have to drill down to H1, drill down to 30 minutes, and then eventually in there, kind of like find a good place to hold price. So that looks nice by itself. Look at that, right? This thing on auto scroll. I really hate working on these MT4, MT5. Let's remove auto scroll. Let's see what happens, right? So look at this, right? So just entering right above there, having a buy stop loss somewhere here could work out. There's a clean imbalance, right? A clean imbalance, and I think I'm going to do that. So also when I do that, and I've cut this whole blue area of value in half. What that means is I could have buy one here at a significantly big lot size because again, I'm risking 22 pips, and buy two could be a far much more smaller lot size, but a wider area of value of 46, just to allow for that swing approach, right? So let me do that. 365, if I'll catch you in the next one, obviously it's going to be one episode. I should stop saying that. But essentially, let's just see how these things play out, right? And then if there is time at 2 p.m. today, New York session, I might then finally place some trades if my day goes according to plan. Otherwise, have a good day, guys. 365. Back again. So it's now about 7 past 7 p.m. Once again, not a lot of action is going on, but I am finally in a trade. Someone's just seen episode 1 of our new series, how to 5x, 10x, 20x your trading account. And they asked me, how do I draw? Is there a better way to do it? So I've just done it like this automatically. I'm talking about these dotted lines, right? These are day separators. They simply mark, beginning of the day to the end of the day, right? And if you are that one person who's watching and you ask me how to do it, if you want to do it automated like this, you simply right click. I'm on MT5, by the way, right? So it's an MT5 platform. And on MT5, you come to properties, all right? And then you go to show, and then you just click here, show period separators, and you just click that, and that line will show up. So if I click it now, those lines are gone. If I click it there, so now all your days. I just like doing everything of mine manually, right? But I know about this. Then if you're on MT4, if you're on an MT4 platform, it won't be on this show. It'll be under common. It'll be somewhere here on MT4, but on MT5, it's here. But what you're looking for is period separators. That's all it is, simple like that. Anyways, I did say I'd update you if I do take a trade today. This is my first trade of the day, man. It's a simple supply. You do know in episode 2, we are talking about the potential play on USD Swiss franc, the quasi model, head and shoulder pattern that we saw here on the daily time frame. All right, and there's an H1 sell here, but I did decide to take a short-term sell somewhere in this cluster, right? And my exit is right here by this demand. So it's just 2 trades running in profits. One of them will give me about $46 US, and the other one's going to give me about 70 something US. Difficult to find because obviously there are a lot of lines here, and I do apologize for that. I am self-recording the stuff, barely doing any type of edits, just putting the videos together and just posting them. I just need to first know if this is something with time. People like this kind of stuff, then sure, I'll drum up a team around and we can really produce something proper for you guys. But anyway, there's a downtrend, like I say, from that 1 hour supply. This is really where we want to sell, right? And I suspect NFP or ADP tomorrow will get us up here before we can sell, depending on the results. But before that, the real demands are still down there. So what I've done is I've noted, some small pressure, then I put in one sell here and another sell there, right? And I was looking at this area of value on the 30-minute chart and the 1 hour time frame. This whole area here on the 1 hour time frame is what I was looking at as an area of value, right? And I watched how price kissed, reacted, and I just sold just below, and I'm hoping for a drop. It is like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So I hate babysitting intraday trades at night. But I am worried about this area. This could turn price completely against me, number one. I am very much worried and aware of it. It really could turn price against me here. Could turn price against me here. Could turn price against me. And so, but this is very comforting. What just happened now is very comforting. So it's too early to break even for such a trade, right? And here's what I'm risking on this trade. So $13 US, this would be for lot size, probably this one, 0.1010. And then this one is about $18 US and it's 0.15. And I could take profits here where I'm worried about, but I'm gonna let it be. I need to allow price to breathe, right? My take profits are just below. So some of these TPs are the ones that we spoke about earlier on. These are the TPs for that sale right at the top. So any take profit you're going to see with a ridiculous amount, like $262 US, is if I sell at that 1 hour supply. It's a pending order that does not yet happen. There's another big one for $800 US. It's if I sell at that 1 hour supply. It's a pending order that has not happened. The last 2 red lines are these sales running right now. So it's just the distance from here to there. And let's talk pips, about 40 pips. A 40 pip run. I'm looking to make 40 pips and I'm risking, give or take, about 15 pips, right? So not really a perfect 1:3, a 1:2 point something, really, if you think about it, right? And anyways, in any case, trade 1 will make me $67 US, I think, if that's correct. And the other trade 2, if I can get it, will make me about 42. I just saw it now, $42. So that's about $100 US trade set up right now, if it plays out. All right, so right now, by end of tonight, beginning of Asian markets into London session tomorrow, we could see this push to the downside. What I don't know is if I'm going to survive the pull-ups at these levels. That's what I don't know. All right, what I don't know this is what I'm going to survive those. But if markets do break some structure, and then it means they might potentially exhaust all the demand in the area, and then I might be, open for a free fall. But there's not much I did today, guys. I did say in my first diary entry of episode 2 that today was not the best trading day for me. I didn't have any losses. It's just the other parts of my life were just everywhere. I was needed here, needed there. And so eventually I didn't give the charts my all. So what I did do was just look at charts, generate a long-term swing trade plan that's coming out very soon, while I play around in this small time frame. So I will sit through this and then happy to take the L if there's, and I'm just going to adjust the stop loss a little bit. So it's still $13 US, 92 cents. Let's get it to 14, right? Just in case price is pushed all the way up, right? Pushed up here to retest something like that there, even though it's already happened. And then this will be my final saving grace, right? Where the final, stop loss is. And then we'll see. If markets melt, I'm happy for them to melt, hoping that they melt all the way down here. And this green line is that one big buy that we are all waiting for, or that I'm waiting for on USD Swiss franc, right? Somewhere, I'll have to go to the 1 hour time frame quickly. This is why I like drawing my daily separators manually, because when you have all of them on the chart, gets a little bit crowded. But again, there's an interesting demand at play right at the bottom. So just above all these sell take profits, there's one big buy order, not big actually, 0.20. It's very small. And the reason why it's small, and I'll probably add another area of value because another trade, because I think it's worth about $96. Okay, I'll leave it as it's quite a big one. The reason why I'm going quite small and only see $90 US, because this is a sell market right now. The bear is heavy, right? So there might not even be enough buy energy to get price all the way up here. And that might happen, but that might take time. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to get price to where it is now. And there has to be a lot to do with the news, right? So we might get us a positive ADP on Wednesday saying, you know what, dollar's going to be strong, NFP is going to be super positive. But if price arrives here by then, and then the dollar gets this crazy strength and rallies all the way up, maybe, I'm just throwing out scenarios, but for me to even get a sell all the way up here, it's going to be a lot of work for the dollar to get there. Speaking of the dollar, before I skedaddle for supper, once again, if you guys are enjoying this video series, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can see that on dollar is doing well. It's doing okay. Given the fact that we know that it did leave a daily demand on Friday. Today is Tuesday, the 3rd of August, right? You can see there's my daily demand, and markets are just grinding, right? So I'm just gonna remove that. I don't know where I'll find period separators on the chart. I'll have to figure that out later for you guys. Those of you, I like to see them, but I do like to draw my own stuff manually, right? So maybe our research weight is on TradeView. If I don't find it, if it's taking forever to find, all I'll simply do is just keep drawing them manually the way I've been so far, all right? But I know it's there on TradeView as well somewhere, right? But look, markets hit a demand and then rally. Now, if I've taught you before, you do know that all bullish engulfments must get retested, right? And that's all that's happened. This is all, let me not remove these lines. It's too late now, right? This is all that's happened, since Friday. Today's Tuesday, right? And there's a slow push higher. So now there we go. Another retest will probably occur there for the dollar index. And markets are gonna grind slowly but higher, right? And I'm looking to sell here. And this could be a very interesting place for the dollar to end up, given the fact that we've got NFP this coming week, and the report that's going to come out tomorrow will set the tone. It will set the tone, right? So look out for that, guys. 365. But yeah, episode 1 is out. I just had a look. Please do share, like, subscribe. And yeah, wishing you guys all the best, right? But yeah, in terms of currency strength, the dollar is technically still, fair and buy weak, generally speaking, across most areas, because it's a slow grind, right? But that being said, NZD USD still remains relatively strong. It feels thin. I feel like the liquidity in the markets is a little bit thin, and that should be expected, given there's a lot of events happening this week. Markets are simply just consolidating and getting ready to price in, the big moves, right? 365, shake my hand. I'll let you know how these two sales went or how they're going right now. They're slowly starting to fail, or there's a retracement. Who knows, man? Who knows, right? Remember, the goal here is, can you repeat? Can you have a simple strategy? Oh, no. What am I doing? What have I done? Where did I get this from? This is the big sell. It's somewhere down here. Right? The point of this is can you hold a simple strategy, and then can you systemize it and then rinse and repeat? Right? Can you rinse and repeat this to a point where you've got your cluster trades going, and can you see if your cluster trades are going to be profitable? And if not, what can you adjust? Where did you make the mistakes, etc.? So we had a couple. Cluster one was NZD-USD. Yesterday, you can see I was trying to buy this thing today, right? Remember, I spoke about buying NZD-USD, and look at where price stopped. Market stopped there. So maybe I need to work on my non-greedy side, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing. I really don't understand why they stopped there, but they did stop there. They chose to sit on top of the H4 order block. No, it's still high, right? There's a very, okay, so there's a hidden demand here, right? So markets are reacting off a hidden demand here with this wick hit. And I was just a couple of pips lower, right? So I could have been triggered in that beautiful buy, right? I was literally, give or take, less than almost 2 pips. I missed this trade by 2 pips. This is me in profits, right? The point is, I'm fine with that. Markets didn't trigger me, but I was right. You know what I mean? That for me as a trader is important, because one day when my areas of competition are hit and my opinion orders are hit, I have the confidence that I've seen myself execute, flawlessly exactly where markets are going. So this is the demand that I should have chosen. I didn't like it. And that's because of the OCD in me. The reason why I didn't choose that demand when I was planning on buying was because I just felt like it had been overplayed. This is why markets broke it, right? You see, so I was right. So at my stop loss been tight on this demand, would be recording a loss on the series. So I'm happy that I'm sad that I'm not in a buy, but I'm happy I'm not in the trade, because you can see that this wick here would have nicked. You see how I draw my areas of value? Okay, so maybe I give them a lot of space, because then my area of value would have been a little bit like this. And then if I'm lucky, I'll put my stop loss out here. But in any case, markets did break the demand here. So if price still has not broken the supply above, right? There's a supply above. Let's draw a 30-minute time frame to see it, right? There we go. Got a beautiful supply at the top here that markets still haven't broken, right? And now it seems markets might be testing a bearish engulfing pattern. Who knows? We shall see, right? So in any case, if that's what they're doing, boom, there's no demand here anymore because they broke it, right? It would be nice to have been in it to make all this money and be exited now, but I'm not in it, right? So we'll see if markets will drop instead and then trigger me and hold me accountable here. This trade, I'm on the line for $23 and it's 0.35. Like, I'm really keeping my order blocks tight, very tight, right? And I don't like it. Markets didn't leave decisively quickly enough, right? You want strong. It's a clean rally, but it's not a strong rally. It's not a strong rally. 5 minutes time frame, clean rally, not a strong rally, right? Okay, that's slightly better. That's slightly better, but then you want to make this super tight. But we'll leave it as it is, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, or the time in the night, or the next day. Who knows when this will happen? But I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to delete this because I now know there's no demand. It's been broken. Of course, this could happen, right? But again, it's not clean. It's not really a clean area of value either. So I doubt there's sufficient demand there, right? What you could get is retail traders trading support and resistance there and being dealt with, right? If markets drop, right? So we'll see this tomorrow. Obviously, there are 2 pending orders on this area of value that was not triggered. The first one is this one here, and then there's a smaller one, smaller lot size, but bigger area of value where the stop loss is all the way at $50. Just in case I get stopped out here, but I'm still right about the buy and markets go deeper just to go really high, then that's going to happen. But if tomorrow comes and the dollar maintains weakness, then this is fine. But if tomorrow comes and the dollar has arrived at this demand for things like Swiss franc, and we're expecting a strong, crazy dollar rally, these trades become a bad idea. NZD, USD buy trades will start to become a bad idea because obviously I'm going against a strong dollar, right? Guys, see, we're back in the negatives. I'm just going to let this trade breathe, and then we'll see what happens. But right now, we are currently back in the negatives on the H4, 30 minutes, 1 hour. We're seeing strong green candles. Tempted to sell again, to be honest with you, but I won't, because then I'll just start to overrisk. But if you go to the 5 minutes time frame, there's still time for the drop to occur. Right, there's still a bit of time on the 5 minutes time frame. It's not a really straight. Right, I just want the horizontal long line. There's still a bit of time. For markets to react correctly to some type of sell and then drop. So it could be up to there and then a big drop, or could go a little bit higher up to here and then drop. So that's what I'll be looking out for during the course of the night up until I call it a night. We shall see. Right, 365, shake my hand. Thank you for watching. Cheers.
Good morning. Nothing too crazy happening in the markets today. I just thought I'd show you guys. Whoops, almost fell. What happened last night? So let's put out the MT5. You'll notice that I am still my real account. I am still on that USD Swiss franc sell, those short sells that I told you guys about, right? They staggered, man. They barely moved during the night. And finally, there's some little bit of action now just before the London session open, which for me is never a good time to have open trades. If you're an intraday trader, I don't like that. I don't like holding trades just before a session, unless if it's like a long, well-built swing trade. And USD Swiss franc is a long, well-built swing sell trade, but it's at its end of its tethers, right? It's really starting to fall apart. So had we opened the sell positions right at the top there, well, I'm saying right at the top, but you guys can't even see what I'm pointing to. Let me see if I can pull out an arrow or something. Right, so we sold right at the top here, right? Then I wouldn't be too worried. But because I'm selling right at the bottom there, I'm selling low. It's like dumb trader stuff that I'm doing here. I know it's a short-term trade, but nonetheless, it's very low, right? I run the risk of being part of like very, very annoying retracement. So from the 1 hour time frame, it looks something like this. This is where we are right now. And I should actually be worried about the bottom of this area here. I might take profits there. The idea was to hold this trade all the way down to this buying area here. I want to buy down there by the blue line, right? And I still could, but there's a high chance that I'll get kicked out before price even makes it down there, because of just the nature of price and where it is. But yeah, it's about 7 a.m. Just got done with my affirmations for the day. I am looking forward to being a consistent, profitable trader. I'm looking forward to taking losses if they come. I'm making sure that they're smaller than my profits, and I want to roll this out. Today is Wednesday, the 4th of August. Lovely day in Grahamstown. Right, 365. Keep you guys updated. Cheers. How do you end this thing now? These phones, man. Phones. There.
365. Good day. What's up, guys? Listen, still tracking this thing, right? Still tracking this. Today's date is the 4th of August. We are, it's a Wednesday. Look, I really thought I was going to get a lot of trading done today, but again, crazy day. Just had my schedule updated on our dashboard here at 365. I have 6 one-on-ones that I need to get through sometime today. Each one-on-one is about an hour each. I mean, I will look at the markets in between, but just kind of like to update. So I've broken even on these 2 trades, right? Because I mean, it's New York session that just started right now, and I need to start seeing what I'm thinking about. Look at this thing. Look at this beast. Look at this beast, right? Look at it go. I'm so unfortunate that we did not get triggered on this amazing rally. Remember, this is where my pending order was. I knew this was going to happen. I mean, I've been talking about NZD USD, but look at this. I got left behind. And now I'll have to start to adjust, right? I have to start finding a new place to kind of like, you know, wait for press. So I'm going to move up my pending order that currently already exists all the way down there. I'm going to put it somewhere here. Wait, I need to first understand what is going on this chart. So these were TPs for lower buys. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to do this. Number one. Sorry. Let's track this. There's a TP. Let's drag that out of the way, right? So I'm going to take this buy now, and I'm just going to move it. This buy that we're hoping to use yesterday, and I'm going to place it somewhere here, right? And yeah, I've missed it. I missed that strong rally on that 15-minute price did turn just slightly above this area of value here, and I'm just going to track that because I do want to be a part of this just before, you know, massive confirmation of the RBZ's decision. It would be nice to be part of the long-term rally, but yeah, price is already moving, man. It's exploding up, right? Which again, without even having to look at the dollar index chart, tells us a story about dollar weakness, right? So this got triggered a little bit higher than expected on the H4 time frame. That's why that 15 minutes pending order that I had there did not hold, right? So I had a pending order there that didn't hold. So let's move that. And then another one, remember, at the bottom of that order block there. So now I've got these two buy orders here. I'll come back and really have a risk assessment. I'm just doing this now so I don't forget. But trade one will cost me $27. Trade two will cost me about 45 or 50, 72. I might have to rethink that one. Or what I'll do is drill down, get a better order block take here. So it's much more better to close, to cover, something like that, right? So that puts it about 50 something, right? So less than $100 for these two trades. But we'll have to watch the session rally on. Remember, the London session is notorious for creating the high of the day or the low of the day. So just because price is like beaming like crazy right now, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good buy day. You know, it could just be looking at what would become the wick of a big red candle. You know, if you come back after 2 or 3 days, right? This could just be the high of the day for price to go back down, or this could be where price is starting and just exploding up in the session, right? So I've moved that on Euro or on NZD USD. I'll come back to it. But yeah, talking about this markets, I watched this thing, you know, in the morning today. This was at about 6 a.m. I was up, of course. I'm up around 4, normally 8:30. And then again, I saw this happening at 9 when markets opened, New York session, and it's happening again right now. Look, we have a big problem. The problem is markets are struggling to break this, right? So until I get a lower low, I'm not confident in the sales that I'm in. I could close and make $20, you know, keep $1. But look, I've broken even. So I'm just clear-minded, right? So if markets still do me the honors of dropping, that's great. Then we want to see something like this, break off that structure, you know, maybe another pullback to somewhere here, not too far, fingers crossed, and then a strong push to the downside, right? But that's all based on what the dollar is going to do today. Dollar weakness in the midst of leaving a dollar demand, right? It's a confusing day. Today's Wednesday, right? So ADP is dropping today. I will do content to cover that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I hope you guys are enjoying this short series. Just let me know, man. Let me know if it's helping you track and think like a trader. I mean, I have to navigate my personal life again and my coaching and all that kind of stuff. So I am quite busy today, but very soon we need to just break out of this thing of just trading 1 or 2 pairs, right? I need to start like really building a portfolio around the count. Or if you do a full analysis, I haven't done a top-down analysis on NZD USD this morning. I haven't looked at the dollar, but for now I'm going to leave this here like that, right? But I have to do a full analysis just to make sure that we are on the same page. But this thing is gone. It's just a strong rally, and we called it, you know, last week Friday. I called this and I said, look, guys, this is going to break out of here. It's going to use that 1 hour order block. So for my swing trades, on my clientele account and my personal account, I'm very happy about that. It's just that we're not triggered in this one. And it's twice now that I've missed it, right? Because I was in a buy down here. Remember, we took profits and started selling for an intraday thing when I should have just allowed the swing to run. I really should have also just done a swing trade here. But so we'll see how our markets fare in this particular area of value. But this thing could run all the way to the top, right? There's really, this is what's owed to the bulls now, right? So the bears had their fun, you know, pushing this asset down, and this equal movement is really what is owed to the bulls. And so this could run for a while. Yeah, this could run for a while, and then you start to kind of like negotiate around highs somewhere there. And I know it's not as clear as it needs to be, but I'll do a proper analysis during the day. So you make a couple of calls, get some coffee in. 365 guys. I'm happy trading. Cheers for now. Cheers for now. Back, shake my hand, shake my hand, shake it. Listen, crazy. I'm busy talking to you guys in the public Telegram group right now, right? And today's Wednesday, right? So like I said, you know, your trading routine, my trading routine feels so thrown off this week with family and all that kind of stuff. There's been a death in the family with my in-laws, and it's just trying to organize a lot of things. But my father-in-law basically just lost his brother, and we might need to travel to Queenstown. And so I've just been, not really into it since I got the news yesterday, and also making the, you know, if there's going to be arrangements and what those arrangements need to be and where we stand with that kind of stuff. COVID, it's just been crazy. But while I'm talking to you guys on the public Telegram group, let me just pull up what I'm saying. And I thank you so much for the feedback of episode 1. Please like the video, share the video, comment there on YouTube. Just help me, you know, keep track of what I need to do, what you guys want to see, right? So that's the whole point, right? Because most of your popular Forex gurus will just show you demo accounts. And look, so on the public Telegram group, we're talking, you guys are giving me some feedback. You know, someone says they enjoyed the video, episode 1 of this, especially that you did it live. Very encouraged to see that the rules are working. I appreciate that, Wongi. Very helpful. Thank you for your comment, guys. Right, so I'm telling you guys on the public Telegram group right now, I'm thinking that it's going to drop at 2:30 p.m. because that's when it always drops. NFP drops 2:30 p.m. FOMC big news sometimes at night, but USD data on pricing index, CPI, CPE, all those things are always 2:30. So I just assumed, mistake number 1, never assume, never, ever, ever assume. God, rookie mistake. I assumed it's gonna the news is gonna dump at 2:30. So I'm busy typing this thing here in the Telegram group, right? Thinking I'm just gonna quickly explain what's about to happen. Okay, and then I'm gonna revert the last 10 minutes before the news drops to the account so I can see if I need to make any adjustments. And I'm like, look, man, ADP is about to drop. Now, if you haven't watched ADP on the YouTube channel, go to my last 2 videos on NFP, the very first video. So not the post NFP, why I was right after. I think the video is called Why You Lost Money or whatever, but look at the actual preparation towards NFP. I talk about the importance of ADP, non-farm role employment change. ADP is a very important economic indicator that retail traders don't care about, don't look at, don't talk about. It doesn't trade because they just don't know, right? They just know about Friday, but they don't know that there is a company that does a pre-NFP on the Wednesday before the Friday, okay? And what they do is they send out their researchers, data analysts, financial analysts to do a similar survey, all right, of what compromises of the NFP report. And there, man, it's kind of crazy. This week is shaping up good for my corporate accounts, personal accounts, swing trades, but for this particular account that I'm using for the challenges, I don't want to ever flip accounts now and be like, okay, let's just go back to this one. We're going to see steady growth on this one, right? We want to stick to one account and just grow it up until we're happy with it. But if you look at what just happened with ADP, so I explained that on the public Telegram, right? Look, if it was positive, if their forecasts are positive and they beat, the markets beats their forecast, the dollar is going to be strong. And I was for 2 assumptions. One, dollar is left a daily demand. So I'm expecting some type of upward movement. I know I'm a dollar bear. I'm a dollar bear because supply is in control. On the weekly, supply is in control. On the monthly, you have to be a dollar bear. We've been a dollar bear for the last 4 weeks, whole month of July, 5 weeks now, including the month of August. I'm a dollar bear. But I'm leaving room for that retracement, right? For that, I thought that daily demand would give us a push, and I thought ADP who would be the catalyst. In fact, I say that literally while I'm typing this, it's like 18 past 2 while I'm typing, and the data comes out without me even noticing, that it's out, right? And check this out. They literally dropped it. Like they forecasted that we're going to get 695K, right? So last time they were on 680, and so they're looking at an increase of 15,000 jobs from 680 to 695. The actual is half, 330,000, according to from their surveys, right? So look at this. Smart money, institutional traders, pro traders almost now know to expect poor NFP results on Friday. There's still a gap, right? That NFP might be positive, that we might be surprised. But on the scales of probabilities, on Friday, I'm going to hold back the optimism of NFP data because markets have a lot to beat. So check this out. On the NFP side, the forecast, this is Friday, this coming Friday, look at this, 870, right? Last time, they were like on 850,000 jobs. This time, they're hoping the number goes up to 870. That's a 20K difference. And that's a lot. Not only that, last time, even though they got a big job creation number, they also saw an increase in unemployment. So now what they want is a decrease by 0.2% of unemployment and at least, 870K jobs. And you must watch for both the non-farm and the actual employee rate, right? So this has been an actual interesting morning. Another banger for the corporate portfolio, the Friday 1 hour NZD US trade that I said buy and hold, and I sent the charts. I hope you're still holding. Look at these beautiful numbers. Came out today. So employment has gone up a bit in New Zealand. Unemployment has gone down. That's strong. This is definitely on track with the RBZ increasing interest rates on NZD USD. So the RBZ on the 18th of August, I think they're gonna go up to 0.25 basis point. I'm saying it right now. My prediction is interest rates will go up at least 0.25%, which is a bigger hawkish strong case for NZD USD. But this was shocking, right? So anyways, while this was dropping, I didn't get enough time to maneuver, right? From my actual position in the accounts, and I got tagged, man. I got, but the way I've been trading, I've been trading risk little to make something substantive, right? Protect your account, right? So the last time you were tracking me, I was in a USD Swiss franc sale last night, held it overnight, did a couple of entries, which I'm sure you've already watched because they're going to be part of episode 2. And there was little movement, little profit. And then I say to you guys, the last time we spoke, like, I'm very worried about this, man. This is not exciting. The fact that markets failed, if we go to the 5-minute chart, the fact that markets were failing to break this low here, right? They were just failing, until they ended up acting like a support, right? So I was like, you know what? This is going to be a big invite for retail traders to come in and pump this. And when retail traders come pump on the same day, smart money is going to come dump, right? Pump, dump, right? So what I did was I broke even. And there you go. So the first sale is here. I made 11 cents, which is better than losing $23 US, because remember, that's where my stop loss was. And in the second one, I think I was risking quite a bit and I made $3, right? So I locked profits. I'm not taking a loss on them. I have no problems. And then I watched how violently price exploded up, and it doesn't look so violently here, but look, when you go 15.30, right, you had a bullish engulfing pattern, and I thought, whoa, this is going to hold. This is it. The dollar is leaving a dollar demand. That's my logic. The dollar is leaving a daily demand. ADP in the afternoon will most likely give us some positive NFP because, generally speaking, historically, they are on the more conservative, positive side, but data is data. So I thought markets were pricing in a strong move to the upside, right? So I expected the rally to go up and then come back for a retest, and then I was going to buy here. So remember my blue line, I was going to buy here up. But and then ADP drops at 2:15 when I'm talking to you guys, right before I can maneuver, close, or get out, because it was getting profitable, and unfortunately I didn't catch it on time. It was like $15-20 US up, but at the buy being successful, remember there's nothing on this chart except for this big sell up here. And that's where I want to be. I know USD is in a long-term swing sell trade, so I want to rejoin the sell. I was just buying the retracement. Never a good idea. And now you can see why. Now you can see why. Never a good idea to go against your governor. Never a good idea to go against your mayoral time frame. Never a good idea to go against your swing entry time frame, the daily, because they really do govern the trend, right? So I was thinking, woo, it'd be nice to catch about $300 going up, and then we sell there. And unfortunately, ADP has just created enough enough push for more dollar weakness, right? So let's go to the USD chart, guys. And I think this diary entry is going to be a little bit longer because I need to start planning proper trades now. It's in the middle of the week. I haven't really been very active. I want to set a couple of pending orders, so don't forget, so that if I am busy with family stuff, if I am traveling towards the end of the week, markets, boom, 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 move how they feel, right? Hoping to move, maybe be absent over the weekends, and that's fine, right? So there it is. There's a dollar demand that I keep telling you guys about, right? That is anticipated to move. But again, we are in a very strong dollar bearish trend, right? And now this is a problem for markets. This to me, not yet, right? Not yet, but this is starting to feel like a PCP, a potential continuation pattern. Potential continuation pattern, generally speaking, I will continue the pattern above it, right? Or below it. In this case, the PCP for a sell. This would not be surprising. It would not be the most ideal, because some of us want to re-enter up there, but this will not be surprising. Or at least if they use it to break, right? It will not be surprising, but I would prefer push up into that area and then we resell there, right? Or push to the fib level or something more retracement before we start selling. But this is starting to look like a consolidation, like a range, and the breakout could be nasty for the dollar to the downside. Bearing in mind there's still a lot of key economic data unfolding this week. Mad, right? So that's what happened. So while I was talking to you guys on the public Telegram, I finally took my first loss in the series, and that's a little bit annoying, but it's manageable, man. So the account I took a hit here of $14 on one buy. It was 0.40, so a sizable lot size, but my areas of value are super tight. And that's not always a good strategy. So I hope that's not what you're taking from this video. It's not like I'm not promoting tight stop loss. No. The stop loss has to be at the right place, allowing price to breathe. What I am doing, however, is because of the size of the account, I want to see how many multi-cluster trades I can take. Can I take 100 trades, 200 trades, or small lots, but then which ones will break out from intraday to swing to actually grow the account, all right? So this is more for education, entertainment, etc. But if I've taught you how to trade, you stick to those rules, right? I'm not trying to maneuver around rules. I'm simply saying there's a difference between how a swing trader looks at areas of value and how an intraday trader needs to look at areas of value, because they are different, very, very different. You can have multiple trends on different timelines when you put them together. The 5 minutes could be going down while the H4 is going up, or the daily or something. So you must be very careful about that, right? But this is unfortunate, and markets are now bleeding, which means, it's unfortunate. Either we should have held ourselves and our stop loss would have been all the way up here, which is something I would have never done for an intraday trade. Definitely for a swing trade, I'd have happily taken a 24 pips risk. I hope I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, I am. Right. So that's something to kind of like, think about moving forward. But now markets are bleeding. The market structure that I had OCD about in the morning is finally broken. Right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wait here. I don't yet feel like I'm revenge trading. I don't really feel, I could look for a completely different asset just to protect my mental state, but I'm happy with this setup. I'm happy if prices to return here. All right, if they decide to use a demand down there, I don't know if they will, but if they do decide to do that and come back here, I'm happy to try that for a sell. I'm happy to try that for a very sizable sell. Let's see how big this area is. That's 4 pips. Beautiful. That makes that 7 pips. I'm on the 15 minutes time frame. If I was to hold such a big area of value now, that's gonna start becoming a little bit scary. Let's see, that's about 17 pips. So if I was to take all of this, if I was to swallow all of this, a risk to reward ratio has to be key. That's what I have to think about. Like, is this risk, worth it? That's really number one. Number two, how far am I going, right? So hopefully, if I was to take such a sell, right? So let's calculate this. Let's say you to take this whole area and swallow it, right? You're risking about 20 pips. And where you're going to exit. Well, remember this green dotted line here, for those who don't remember, it's really where I think there's going to be true demand for a real retracement. On the 1 hour time frame, there was a very strong buy, but I'm probably going to close that buy trade. I'm going to kill that buy trade now, because there's no point in buying a market that desperately wants to sell, right? There's just no point in that. So, but if we use that 1 hour demand as a point of reference of where we're going to get out, it means our sell will run from here all the way into the green line, which is 40 pips. So that's 1:2. It's not the best setup in the world. What I like to do in such situations is to then do something like this. So I'll cover this whole area here and say, look, man, price bled like crazy here. How big is this area of value? And this area of value is, 10, let's call it 10 pips, it's 9 pips, let's call it 10, it's 10 pips. And then be like, okay, fine, for 10 pips risk, is it worth getting about 40 pips? The answer is yes. That's 1:4. For every dollar, you get $4. I'll do that with one big lot size, right? 10 pips a pop. Just bearing in mind that it might be a little bit costly. So that's what I'll do, number one. And then I could open a second sell trade. All right, so let's first do the big one. Let's just do the big one. Let's see if the big one is worth it. Right? I've got a mental cap, right? I never want to go above $50. And don't forget, guys, this is fitted for my capital, right? My capital allows me to use these lot sizes. I'm not using these lot sizes because I'm being random. This is less than 1% of my account right now. 10 pips, 0.50 is less than 1% of my account. So you don't do this because Leroy did it. Leroy is taking calculated risk based on his account. What's your account looking like? And then you operate from that standpoint of view. All right, but you have to master the basics. You have to do the course first, understand all the rules, all the implications here. I just want to quickly see. So I like to put my pen in order as well ahead of time, because if you're working on the leverage side of things and still not able to calculate this mentally or don't know about calculators, it's better at least to see off the bat how much you're risking before you're inside the trade. Because once you're inside the trade, whether you close or sell, close or buy, profit or loss, it counts against you, right? It affects you, right? So if I was to take that trade at 0.50, I'll return about $54. All right, and I run this risk. The problem with this particular trade, I run the risk of markets thirsting for a higher sell, right? So I run that risk. It might not happen, but I do run that risk of markets coming up here, right? And begging for a better price up there. So on the 15 minutes, I like this drop, the one that just took me out on the 5 minutes chart. I like the drop. I really do. But there's always a possibility that markets could kind of like climb higher, and this becomes your big problem. So we just speculate some type of trend line there. You want to be wary of price that's going to come, you can use a wick to trigger, but you don't want it to break out like crazy, because then any of these along the way will be the go-to, right, for a short-term intraday trade. If I go to the 30 minutes time frame, this area of value is looking very wide, right? If I go to the 30 minutes time frame, it's looking like actually all I have to worry about is price coming here, which means I can drop this to almost $40, right? From risking 50 to 40, right? So that's one option, right? Look at the blood just bleeding across there. And what I don't want to do is be too conservative with price to a point where I miss out. And the other bigger problem is the fact that this is a bearish engulfing pattern right here. So what happens if markets really want to get that high sell? What happens if markets want to come here and trigger, right, this entry point, right? So which means they'll stop somewhere there. What just happened? Oh, it means they'll stop somewhere there And when they stop somewhere, they would kick me out of this trade. So I'd lose 40, 50 bucks just for price to drop against me, right? So I'm not happy with the expense of that particular trade. So what I'm going to do is find this area of value that I just put in right now, which is USD Swiss franc sell, right? 0.53. Was it that of the one above? Oh, I don't want to mess up my previous cells. Should date it, right? So there we go. It's dated. This is what we're looking at, the one I just did right now. So I'm going to close that. And the reason for that is I acknowledge that there's a bigger cell, there's a bigger cell high there, and that really should be my area of focus right now. Is on a slightly, on the 30 minutes chart. Let's see what 1 hour looks like on the 1 hour time frame. Right, there's a PCP on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm looking at here on the 1 hour time frame. Decisions, right? So this trade will get triggered so much earlier, and it's about 17 pips. So I really am not trying to turn this into $1 million account overnight. I'm trying to actually be very as progressive. You've seen prices melting as quickly as it can, right? So it is looking for a real demand to catch it. So that green area, there might be that demand, but that area is worth a lot of money, right? You see why I'm scared of it now. So with $96, I don't want to take that loss just because when I know that markets are literally in a downward trend. So I'm going to have to go back to that pending order and relook at it, you know, with a clear conscious, really relook at it and see if I really want to, if I want that smoke. But first I must decide where I'm selling. So if I draw if I'm marking my area of competition, it would have to include the reasonable body. So let's just delete this so no one is confused, right? So it will look something like this, right? So this is where price bled from. If I just take that one line there, we have a problem, right? So if I take that one layer, it takes me back to that 15 minutes mark where I did want to sell in the first place. And I'm happy with that now because I now know the size of the area. But I might want to consider dropping the lot size a bit because this is humongous, right? This is about 16 pips. So let's try this whole lot sizing thing again. I could use a calculator, but then I'm trying to do everything on one camera front so that you guys can see it. And I am self-recording. I don't want to spend the whole night editing and joining the videos from my phone and videos from here. It is a lot of work. So I'm just going to start dropping. I'm going to cut this, you know, a little bit. You know, just give this is not, yeah, it's not bad. It's a short sell, right? It's not something I'm trying to hold for life. Then I'm going to go 0, the entry is around about 0.90452. And I think that's a bit tight, right? I might get left behind. I really might, because price could take this bearish engulfment right there. But if you do that, that means you've just extended the pips by a little bit, 4.5 by another 4 pips, because it's not a big difference, right? So I'm going to enter at 415. Once again, if this type of practical approach is helping you, like the videos, talk to me in the comments, let me know. First stop loss is going to go right above. I want a protective swing type of stop loss, right? Which makes sense, but then that's why there's a strict reduction of lot sizing, and the reason for that is because the area of value is massive. The bigger the area of value, the bigger the exposure to risk, and so you want to be very careful. And I'm not going to blindly let this trade trigger. I'm going to watch how strong markets come to it, right? So I'm going to be watching the buys when they come back up here as a retracement, because you have to check that out. If there's accumulation. So if markets, you know, start to trade sideways into your supply, like some type of upward consolidation, then that's fine. They're building a position to sell. But if they come violently straight parabolic, there's just too much demand down there. This supply, which is already low, I shouldn't even be selling. It's a supply that's already low, would have a problem, would have a serious problem. So I will make those decisions last minute. I'm not gonna, it's still, because my area of value is still so massive, I'm still risking about 50 bucks, almost $60 now actually, right? But market structure was broken, so I'll let that play. And then what I want to do is watch for this. So this is one of those trades that I'll close almost quickly, right? So if it's profitable and it runs well, I'll close that very quickly. I am just up. I need to get more float, right? So I need to essentially find a couple of trades to give me 200, 300 US dollars, just so that when I have these 20, 30, 14 US dollar things, there's a little bit of float. So this is the main selling place. And what I've done is I've just covered the entire area for just in case. But this is the main area where markets exploded because of ADP. And so I'm wondering if all the sell orders are done. I don't think so, right? Some bank, somebody out there in the world must be surprised, like what the fluff just happened in the markets. And because of that, their orders are not yet filled as smart money. And so I would like to take a chance on this area at 7 pips. So this is the one where you know, I'll dial up the lot size just a little bit. And the reason for that is the loss will not be that disastrous, or at least I'm hoping. I'll see. And fundamentally, because my area of value is smaller, it's much smaller, right? But if I can get both sales triggered similarly and they both work out, it's just a case of, you know, running them long enough to safely break even at the very least, right? I'm really not opposed to breaking even all the time. I am opposed to losing capital, blowing accounts all the time. That's the first thing you need to cure in your trading, right? First step is consistency, right? Can you make a dollar, keep an account? And then after that, you can talk about consistent profitability, right? So I'm going to hit, there we go. And I'm risking about 20 US dollars on that one, right? So 20 US dollars for a big one, a bigger lot size, because my area of value is smaller. I'm going to delete all these things, right? And then go to 50 minutes, see how it looks. So it's just sitting right above there, which I like. I like that. I like that a lot. And then we shall see. So entry, broken market structure. Come on, man. Broken market structure. Right. I mean, it means nothing if it comes from a strong. If money swaps hands and money is now on the side of the demand, then this will mean absolutely nothing. But there we go. Got another one here. And it's not in, it doesn't really yet feel like a broken market structure, because markets have to close and open on the other side of it. But it could be a temporary support. But if they break this as well again, then that's even more fantastic for us, right? And then we'll see if price finds a bottom, right? I need to make some coffee, make a couple of calls. When I come back, you know, it's all part of part two. It's time to start to put into action all those trades that we're doing. So there it is there in our war room, right? I've done a weekly war room. It's time to really look for proper place in the marketplace. So that's what I'm going to be doing. You should have access to this. It's in the remote course, you know, a formula-based trading journal. Those of you who have access to my course, my trading journal is at the end of module 2, week 7 folder. All you gotta do is just open it, download it, and then you just start to input. I've edited it today as well, just to make it easier for everyone, right? So date, entry, instruments. There's the kind of stuff you need to bring to me, please, because I need to sit down with your trading journal. I need to sit down with your statements, the actual trades you took from your broker, and then I can do a clinical assessment of what's going on. You know, where can you improve? How can you improve? That's what the 365-day of mentorship means after you've done the course, right? It's all yours, but I work better with as much data about you. So you'll notice I've just shrunk it a bit. Probably not a good idea for camera so you can see, but it's just instrument. Okay, what type of trade you take? Pin in order. Did you make profits? Did you make a loss? I want to know it in dollar. Exit date. I want to see how long you hold your trades. Are you intraday trader? You're a swing trader? Was it a buy or sell? How much capital were you risking? You see, I just showed you, like, I'm risking $23. So that when I look at your journal and I see you risk $20 to make 100, like, yeah, you get it. It's not about making $1 million. It's about risk reward. We can talk about this. What was the loss? And this is the only time in the world you can be the most honest and most sincere about your journey as a trader, right? If you just follow my process, I can't create 102 six-figure traders and still think it's a fluke, right? We have to just, if they follow the process, anyone can do it, right? There's literally magic in just being disciplined and sitting through with the entire program if this is a long-term goal for you, right? So see you on the other side. You know, peace and love. let me sort out my life and then come back to the markets. But we've got a lot of assets to kind of like plan. I'm going to do the entire planning with you. It's going to feel like a, another retake version of the war room type of things, but we're actually going to be setting pending orders now on the system. We're going to be setting a lot of pending orders on the system, but these are holistically swing trades, right? Look, every time I get up, go somewhere, and by the way, this is such a perfect indication of a life of an intraday trader, right? I am going to stick to the series. I'm going to see it through. I've made a commitment. I'm enjoying it, but it is such a brutal. This is literally the life of an intraday trader. It's the time now. I don't know if you guys can see it on this screen. Is 18 past 4. So the last time I did like a recording was probably like an hour ago or 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, around about 2:30 when ADP at 2:15 came out, right? In the last 2 hours, I've taken a couple of calls, did a check for one of the cars we're going to be taking to the funeral, blah, blah, blah. And more data came out, which again, I didn't pay too much attention to, right? So look at this, guys. So ADP non-farm was negative, which sent the dollar plummeting. And then on the intraday time frame, you're thinking, oh my God, there is now the sell side will continue, which I think it will. I think the sell side might continue. Problem is, straight after that, at 4 p.m., 2 hours later, ISM services PMI comes out super positive, right? The manufacturing is like, it's super. Institute of Supply Management, it's positive. It's positive. So then the dollar from being weak here gains a whole lot of strength here. All right. It's just safe to say, I am done trading for today. I am not placing another trade. Well, and this has been fun. It's been brilliant. But let's look at my plan. Let's look at what my plan looked like and what happened and why, what worked, what didn't work. Right. So remember, you can see these auto trade arrows, right? We had a 15 minutes area of value that we're interested in because we wanted price to return to the stronger supply level, the ADP news event level, which was somewhere here. Let's just ignore this little one up here for now. So there was a thing. So I said I'm going to put one big lot size here for now, but I'm going to give it a tight stop loss here. So I think again, I lost, I don't know, 20 bucks or something, right? But I'm bleeding, guys. I really am bleeding. I really am bleeding. So it's time for me to go back to my swing trades. I need to be very careful about this, but I will keep this series up. And then I say, we're going to use a smaller lot size to cover this entire area, because if you really think about it, this entire area is like a 30-minute supply, right? So if you see, come here, see, there's a whole, almost a whole 30-minute supply, 30 minutes and more. But if we tightened it, right, you're going to have to deal with this supply there, right, which is where we entered. So you see that arrow there. So I put another entry point here, just outside the 30-minute supply. And then I thought, nah, instead of having a tight stop loss like this, like somewhere there, let's have it outside, this covers this entire area of value. And look at price. Look at this crazy climb, right? And once again, and now I'm gonna feel like I'm zigzagging around myself. This is technically in line with dollar strength, right? Technically, markets haven't done anything ridiculously. And I think, man, this has been like one of my best favorite trading days. Yeah, the portfolio has been shaking, but this has been a fantastic day in the markets. And on a love studying the markets, you'll know. So there we go. So markets have really dealt a strong blow to this bullish engulfing pattern. We would call for class effect now. You see this there? The area of value held, right? It held, and then now order flows. This is a drain of real order flow completion, right? So now we're pushing up and we've got a strong dollar again, right? But again, it is in line with the short term hours, hours to days, right? In the short run, we should see some dollar strength. We've spoken about this dollar, blah, 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 dollar demand going up to a supply level, and then we'll see. I am not, guys, I'm done for the day in terms of what I needed to get done, the busy stuff. But I think it is just to reset my mind, right? 2 things, whether they're a lot of money or not a lot of money, just to reset my mind, I'm done trading for today. Just to reset my mind, I am done trading. But what I want to do now is grab something to eat. I'll be hungry, man. And then after I eat, I'm going to take a walk or not take a walk. I'll just see what my state of mind needs. And then whatever it is that I need to do, I will then come back and then start planning swing trades, right? Which is really my skill set. Find out really what the actual plan is with the markets, get out of these up and down dances with the markets. And then we can wrap up episode 2, and hopefully you guys will see it this week during the first week of August, give or take. But this is important that you see this stuff as transparent as possible. And I think I would be in a different state of mind. Imagine if I wasn't, following strict risk management rules. Imagine if I was using 5% of a 20-something thousand US dollar account, right? I'll be taking 500, 400, 600 US dollar losses, or at least those 2 that I've taken so far. Right, so then we'll also then fit in the cluster trade setup, show you how the journal works, all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, see you guys in the next recording. But yeah, if you're still watching, appreciate it, like the video. But let me go get some food, and then we are back on. Cheers.